Now at 5, and the mystery surrounding health problems affecting 24 American diplomats in Cuba. It was center stage in Washington today. Senator Marco Rubio chairing a hearing aimed at answering some key questions. CBS 4's Elliot Rodriguez live in the control room with more. Elliot.
Well, Rick, more than a year after American diplomats came down with medical symptoms in Havana, the U.S. State Department has still not determined what caused them to get sick or whether or not the Cuban government is to blame. And today, we found out the State Department did not follow its own policies when it investigated these so-called attacks.
The initial events that were reported occurred at diplomatic residences, but later these events occurred at hotels.
Senator Rubio described what the State Department calls health attacks on American diplomats assigned to the U.S. Embassy in Cuba starting in November of 2016.
And among the descriptions that they complained of, high-pitched beam of sound, incapacitating sound, baffling sensation, akin to driving with windows partially open in a car, or just intense pressure in one ear.
Of the individuals evaluated in this initial tranche, 16 were identified to have symptoms and medically verifiable clinical findings of some combination, similar to what might be seen in patients following a mild traumatic brain injury or a concussion.
In all, 24 American diplomatic personnel have been diagnosed with health problems. Half the embassy personnel were called back, and 17 Cuban diplomats expelled from the U.S. But the State Department has not set up an accountability review board to look into who's responsible for the attacks.
Has an accountability review board been set up as of this date, and why was it not set up, as according to law, within the 120-day period?
The Secretary has made a decision to convene an accountability review board. There will be a congressional notification sent shortly.
The bottom line is the State Department did not follow the law in setting one up within the 120-day period, in my opinion, and I believe in the opinion of others.
Senator Jeff Flake, who attended today's hearing, has said the FBI has found no evidence the Cuban government is responsible for the health issues, but members of the committee seem skeptical.
The Cuban government may or may not, at the end of the day, be directly responsible for attacking our diplomats. But as someone who has personally witnessed the modus operandi of the Cuban government, it is unfathomable that the Castro regime and the intelligence services specifically were not aware of these attacks.
Now, the State Department is now avoiding calling these sonic attacks. They now refer to them as health attacks. And one State Department official said nothing is being ruled out, including the possibility these were some sort of viral attacks. But he offered no evidence to